Connect your sound card to your PC. Immediately, the audio interface sound card lights up automatically, and you will see a message on your PC showing the name of the audio interface synchronized with your system. To confirm, right-click on the speaker icon at the bottom right corner of your screen, then click Sound Settings, scroll down to Input, and you will see your audio interface activated. Scroll up to Output to also confirm the output. If you have a speaker connected, it will show there. But for me, I'm using headphones as a monitor, which means whatever audio is coming from the PC, I will hear through my headphones. If you are using speakers, make sure to reduce the output volume. Since I'm recording instruments, I will make sure phantom power is turned off, and I will also reduce the monitor headphone volume to 12 o'clock position. Next, connect a jack to jack cable to the keyboard phone/output. Before plugging it into the audio interface, turn off the keyboard. Plug the other end of the jack into the sound card. To monitor your sound, plug in your headphones and turn on the volume down to about 9 o'clock position. Now let's power on the keyboard. Then go to the keyboard settings, locate local control and turn it off. Most times, once you connect an audio interface, it may set itself automatically. And also check for PC mode in case you experience a double sound. That is, as you play the keyboard, you hear the sound both from the keyboard speakers and in your headphones. You may also need to adjust these settings depending on your keyboard type and model. I'm using a Yamaha PSR S500, but you can read your keyboard manual for further settings. Now, I will go back to the sound card and turn on direct monitoring. This allows me to hear the sound as I'm playing on the keyboard. Depending on your sound card, the option may vary. I'm using a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 4th Gen. On the sound card, you also need to activate the int button because we are recording instrument. Direct monitoring, you have two options, stereo and mono. If the indicator is white, it means it's not active. When active, it turns green. I will set mine to stereo. You can see that immediately I press a key on the keyboard, the sound card lights up green. This shows that it is connected successfully and the sound card is receiving audio from the keyboard. To the MIDI connection, you will need a printer cable USB type A to type B. Connect the square end to the keyboard TOO port and the flat end to your computer. Now I will launch FL Studio. Go to File, then create a folder where you will save your work. I will name mine Test-4, then click Save. Next, go to View and scroll down to Mixer. I'm setting up the audio channel, not the MIDI channel, so take note of that. I will select Insert. Once selected, go to the right hand side of the Mixer view and click the drop down menu that currently says None. This will show you the sound card input in both stereo and mono. And since I'm recording from only one channel, I will choose Input 1 mono from the audio interface. I will click Yes on the warning message. Next, I will arm the track for recording. You will see the yellow EXT indicator showing that Input 1 is selected. Then I will exit the mixer view. At the top, I will click on Song Mode. Next, I will add a VST instrument to record MIDI. I will open the plugin picker, go down to Generators, then select FL keys. I will drag it into the channel rack, then I'll press some keys on the keyboard to confirm that it is working. Let's make it bigger. The cracking sound you're hearing is because the USB port connected on my computer is a bit loose. Make sure yours is tight and secure. I will drag this down so that we can see the playlist where both the audio and the MIDI will be recorded. Now the sound is better. Notice that the e-piano voice is coming from my keyboard, not from the FL Studio VST. So everything is working correctly. Let's start recording both audio and MIDI. I will click the record button, then click play. Now I'm playing some random notes on the keyboard. And at the same time, I'm changing the keyboard voices. This allows the keyboard to serve as the sound source while FL Studio records the MIDI. Okay, I'm done. I'll press the spacebar on my PC to stop recording. Now let's close this and focus on the playlist. I will zoom in and open the channel rack. Here we have FL keys, which recorded the MIDI, and test input 4, which recorded the keyboard audio and every voice change I made while playing. I will close this for now and open the piano roll. These are the MIDI notes that were recorded. Now I will go back to the playlist and play everything back. Let's go back to the channel rack so you can hear both the MIDI piano and FL keys and the string sound from my keyboard. If I click on MIDI track, this is where I can edit the note. Let me move them back. I will stop the playback here. From here, you can adjust the volume of both the MIDI track and the audio track. To save or export your audio, click File. First, let's check if the audio was saved automatically. I will open the test4 folder and check the audio folder. Nothing is here. That's because I recorded the audio and MIDI, but I didn't export the audio yet. I will go back to FL Studio, click File, then scroll down to Export and choose a WAV file. I will give it a name and click Save. You can either choose background rendering or start. I will choose background rendering. Now let's go back and check. Open the exported file location and you can see it here. I will copy and paste it to my desktop. Let's play it back. As you can hear, the piano sound was captured successfully. The mistake I made earlier before is that I only save, I didn't export my audio. Please don't forget to save your project and export your audio immediately after you finish recording.